Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. I am Elizabeth Frimpong. If you haven't been here before, please stay, you are welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. And in today's video I'm coming to talk about something interesting and also vital for our nursing journey. I remember when I was called for interviews some years back, a while ago, not really long. I was really stressful, I was nervous, I was anxious, I didn't know what to do. So what I had to do was to go on the internet, Google, YouTube, and search things to know before going for interview, an example of interview questions. The process of finding the necessary information I needed was very hard, it was stressful. And so, because I know how it feels and the stress and the kind of work you had to do to go in for an interview, I gathered all this information, the vital information I found when I was doing my research, into one video, which is this one, to explain to you the tips and the things to know before going into an interview and how to come out successfully. Let's go straight into the video. But first and foremost, if you find this video very helpful or if you find it interesting, please don't forget to subscribe, like and share my video. Now let's go straight into the video. Welcome back. As I said earlier, I am here to share with you the basic tips and the must-know tips you have to know before going for an interview. If you have been called for an interview, congratulations, well done. Remember, there have been over thousands of applications for the nursing course, and out of the 1,000 applications you've been called for an interview. That is a massive step in this profession. If you are planning to apply for nursing to go for an interview, keep it up. You will get there. Tip number 1. Do not stress yourself as I stress myself. Feel free, relax, and also be yourself. That is my first step. Relax and be yourself. Always don't forget to ask anything you don't understand about the course or about the university before your interview. And that is why there is a need for you to go for nursing open days. Going for open days has so much benefit. Going for open days makes you know the school, makes you know how the nursing curriculum is planned, makes you meet your tutors, your potential mates, and also it lets the tutors know you. So if you go on an interview and you meet a tutor you met on an open day, they sort of know you already. They know you, you've spoke to them, you've asked questions, you've asked things that you thought you needed knowing, so you know them and they know you. So that actually sort of breaks the formality there, so it actually eases the anxiety and nervousness. So it is good for you to go for nursing open days. My tip number 2, go on the internet, search tips for going for nursing interview questions and answers, and also how to smash your interviews. If you get the nursing interview questions and answers, which is going to come in my next video, please take a pen and paper, write the questions, try to answer the questions by yourself, and also seek help from a family or relative to help you to answer the questions. For instance, you can call a sibling to act like an interviewer and you're the interviewee. So they ask you the questions and you try to answer it. You doing that will help you to build your confidence and also ease anxiety level, because you sort of know what you're going to talk about. when you go on the interview. It's really helped. This is a key step you have to do. Even if you don't get anybody to ask you the questions, you can ask yourself the questions. Set your phone there, look in the camera, video yourself whilst answering it. When you finish playback, or you can sit in front of a mirror, then you ask yourself the questions and you answer it. I think this is really going to help. My tip number 3, you have to also read the university checklist, because before you go for an interview, they'll give you some checklists, like things you need to bring in, like your passport, your qualifications. Make sure you read through them, get them ready before the due day. We don't want any situation where we've forgotten anything, or we've forgotten an important document and we had to leave the interview to come back to get it. If you do that, you're going to miss your interview. So you have to pack everything ready. Make sure you have got everything there before the due day. Don't keep it late, that you have to rush to look through them the day before. When you can't find anything, then you start going nervous and you start stressing yourself. No, you don't have to do that. The other tip is you have to also dress smart. Remember, you are not the only person going for the interview. There are a lot of people going there. You have to stand out. It's official. The dress code is official. Like, a lady can get a nice blazer or a nice shirt, long sleeve shirt with some button, decent, and the gentleman can get a shirt as well with a nice trousers and a belt. But always remember, you have to be comfortable in the clothes. You don't have to go for tight clothing that you can't even breathe when you're sitting, because that will make you uncomfortable in your interview. As you are going into a course where we are going to wear uniform, we have a certain dress code, we have a specific shoe we have to wear, so we have the formality in the setting already. You don't have to break it. So whilst you're going for the interview, make sure you keep that formality there. Make sure you are decent. The other tip is, please, in your interview, do not swear. I know it's hard, especially in Britain. Many people swear. It just comes out like that. But please do not swear in your interview. It's a no-go area. In your interview, if you swear, that is a potential out. You can't swear to your interviewers or to your lecturers. That is unacceptable. So if you swear in the interview, count yourself. You're not going to get through. So please don't swear in the interview. And that is why it is also important for you to plan the sort of answers you want to give before going into the interview. Also, you have to know about the CCs. There are so many videos available which is talking about the CC, so you have to know the CCs. And remember, every answer you give, make sure you link it to the CC. There are the 6 principles or the core skills a nurse have to have, so you have to know the CCs. For instance, they can ask you a question like, have you ever been in a difficult situation before in your workplace? Then you answer yes. How did you deal with it? Then you sort of go this way. I was looking after somebody. The person had, let's say, shortness of breath. So what I had to do is to ring my manager. Spoke to my manager, and also a call for an ambulance. There you have used the key principle, communication, to deliver my needs and my wants to my manager regarding the recent incident that has happened in the workplace. Those things like that will actually help you. It also shows you are caring, you care for the person. That's why you needed to put in that action to call for the ambulance. So yeah, in that case, it comes across as being caring and also comes across as being a good communicator. At least I know my communication channel, how to do about it. Okay, so you have to know the CCs, which are very, very, very important. Also, you have to know the current news or the current nursing articles. I remember I went for an interview in 4 universities, and all the universities asked me this particular question: what is current in this news in the health field? During that time, it was the patient-nursing ratio was imbalanced, and the clinical waiting times of patients is increased. So I sort of demonstrated that from the news I read, and I gave them the percentage of how much the waiting times have gone up. So that is a bit of research you have to do. Know the current news. You can talk about COVID vaccination. You can talk about still shortage of nurses and staff. You can talk about the waiting time, which is still an issue there, but you have to read about it. I will suggest you going through the Nursing Times, which has very good journals about nursing, the news and everything. Yeah, I think they are the best place to go for stuff like that. My other step is that you will have to know where your interview is going to take place, because some universities have 2 campuses, some have more than 3 campuses, so you have to know where you will be having your interview. You don't want a situation whereby, like, on the interview day you turn up on the wrong campus. So what you have to do is, a couple of weeks or a week before your interview, make sure you read through your directions for your interview. Some universities, like Stafford University, gives the map about the direction, how to get there, the parking. I think Birmingham too also does that. They send through email though. Yeah, so you have it. You make sure you open it, make sure you read it, make sure you print it, and make sure you know where it is, which room you are going to have your interview, the time for your interview, the date for your interview. We don't want turning up the wrong date thinking we're supposed to have an interview today, and when you turn up, like, you've missed your interview. You were supposed to have it the day before or something. No, that would be like a serious situation, because you've potentially missed your interview. That means you wouldn't get the opportunity to go for the interview, so indirectly you are not going to get on the course because you weren't assessed, you didn't go for the interview. And that is why it is important for you to know the place. It is very important to know where you're going for your interview. Know how you will get there. Make sure you know, if you are driving, make sure you know the allowed parking areas. If you are not driving, make sure you know where the taxi station is, or if you make sure you have the taxi number. I remember when I was going for interview in Stafford, I know there's a funny one. I didn't plan very well. I planned to go with the bus. When I sat on the bus, I sort of realized the bus is going to take longer than I anticipated. It's going to take over an hour. So what I had to do is get off the bus and phone a taxi. Thinking the place I was in Newport, trying to phone a taxi. They have a different taxi number from where I live. I thought Newport and where I live was closer enough. Guess what? Newport taxi was very expensive. It was very expensive. So what I had to do is I had to phone a taxi away from where I live to come all the way from my area to where I was, pick me up to go to the interview. Fortunately enough, I sort of noticed this early. I wasn't late. I was, I think, 10 minutes early, of which it went against my time. I always wanted to get there 30 minutes early, but because of my unplanned incident, I got there like 10 minutes early, of which I was fortunate. If I wasn't fortunate, I would have been late for it, or if I didn't get the idea to call a taxi or get out, I would have found myself wanting. And that is why it's always good for you to know where it is, because this nearly happened to me. So please make sure you know where you are going, how to get there. Yes, also make sure that when you get there you feel free, feel confident. I know you'll be anxious, but remember, you're not the only person who is anxious. Most of the students there are also anxious, so try to talk to yourself so you ease the anxiety before you get into the interview room. So before you get into the room, you're speaking to your friends, so you sort of flow. The confidence is in there. Get there, you continue with that confidence to go outside. And talking to your friend also gives you more ideas. Like some people will just tell you why they chose the course. Some people also tell you why they think it is very important to go on that specific campus or do that specific course. They telling you this or communicating with them about stuff like this helps you to get more information. You add it to what you've gathered, you've added to what you've planned. That makes your interview rich, so you've got more points to support what you've got. Like, yeah, it makes it strong. Yeah, also make sure you get there early. You get to your interview early. When you get there early, to ease some stress, make sure you have a deep breath. Make sure you have a cup of tea, which is a must-have, or a coffee, or maybe a bottle of water. I prefer the juice. Yeah, or have water. And you can sit in a quiet place if you want. You sit in a quiet place, try to ask yourself the questions, try to answer them to yourself in your head. If you feel confident enough, because you got there sort of 30 minutes early, if you use 10 minutes to do that, you've got 20 minutes. So the 20 minutes, you can go for a wee, then you go to the room, you pass through the process, give them your documents, they check everything, you make sure you have everything on hand, you give it to them. If they have everything, you sit down in the queue, then you wait to be called for your interview. Yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. If you found this video very interesting, please like and subscribe. And if you think it was helpful to you, please subscribe as well. Don't forget to like and share. And I really appreciate you for watching this video to this far. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video. For now, it's a bye.